Hello, Sydney.
Welcome everybody! OCW brings you Final Cut! And the curtain is about to drop on 3 championship matches tonight, and the curtain is about to drop on my broadcast colleague, Drew the Werewolf Starner.
Are you afraid of the dark, Pauly?
Wow. Just wow.
You should be.
Do you have a favorite scary movie?
I like a lot of scary movies. Scream, Saw.
Did you see Saw?
Yeah,
1 or 2?
all of them.
So,
There's like 8 of them now.
you've seen Saw?
Yeah.
Okay. Glad we established that. Let's establish
Saw
the
has
fact-
been seen.
Oh my God. We are on the road to Tradition, our biggest event of the year. We will be celebrating 20 years of Ohio Championship Wrestling. And you know, every superstar on the roster wants to be a part of that event. And tonight goes a long way to putting yourself there.
Oh, 100%.
In fact, our main event tonight, the OCW Heavyweight Champion, the Guiding Light Matthew Taylor, faces one of the toughest roadblocks of his road to Tradition. All hail Ryan Michaels. Michaels nearly got the dub on him the last time they met. Tables turn tonight, new champion here at Final Cut.
I don't believe so, Pauly, because you got to keep in mind, the Guiding Light Matthew Taylor, one of the most seasoned veterans we have here in OCW, the only Grand Slam champion in this company's history. So the experience edge definitely goes to Matthew Taylor.
But with age and experience, that's one thing. There's something about that straightforward mindset of let me go, let me at it. Almost like a bulldog, you know? Just straight ahead, never relenting. And that's Ryan Michaels. And that kind of attitude could take him to the top here.
Yeah, but you also got to avoid tunnel vision, because if you get tunnel vision, you'll get blindsided.
Speaking of getting blindsided, tonight we will hear from the Thunderbird, Jake Ely. He will be part of the 3rd ever Money Talks with Kenny Cash. It's worth pointing out that the first 2 episodes of Money Talks with Kenny Cash have ended with Kenny Cash getting his ass kicked. I don't know what's going to happen the 3rd time around. I don't think Jake's going to try to go after him. But then again, maybe he is. Because keep in mind, Ryan Michaels was on Money Talks last month, and now he's in the main event for the Heavyweight Championship.
Well, I'm sure the Thunderbird Jake Ely has a lot to get off of his chest, considering that he lost the OCW Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match and was not part of the decision.
That's just the name of the game. That happens with triple threat matches. Also tonight, tag team action. Warhorse is here, which unfortunately means that so is the agent Nick Hahn. They will go up against the newly formed tag team of Jean-Paul Les Miserables and James the Baker Hickey. Sweet Silence.
That sounds about right. Did I tell you that I went into the Baker's Bakery the other day and I just wanted to get a donut? That's all I want. I just want a donut. I was unaware that I had to pantomime my order.
Will you stop?
I just want a donut. That's all I want.
First off, if you've been to the Baker's Bakery, you know that you pre-order on the app. Also tonight, it is Final Cut, and the director of the production is kind of guiding the ship here. He's directing everything that's happened, including stuff that's gone on backstage tonight. But we will have the Ohio Heritage Championship on the line. Derek Dillinger defends against the Huntington Beach bad boy, Bryant Huff. Huff has turned some heads, but Dillinger is ruthless.
100%. But also to keep in mind, news broke earlier this week that Derek Dillinger was involved in a car accident, but he is here tonight to defend the title.
My understanding is he just got back from Canada. So that... Can you really put everything you have into a championship matchup, a championship defense, with that little time to prepare?
That just shows you the toughness of Derek Dillinger.
Speaking of tough, and speaking of Derek Dillinger, Chuck the Truck Morris has put out the challenge. Derek Dillinger, pick whoever you want. I will beat them, and then I will beat you. And that match is happening tonight. Have you heard any names being thrown around about who Derek has chosen?
I have heard no word on who this opponent for Chuck the Truck Morris is going to be.
Could it be you?
It's possible.
It
could be you. It could be the cameraman. We don't know.
I really hope it's not the cameraman. And, of course, the OCW Tag Team Championship on the line tonight. DDTrash defends against the winners. This has been brewing for quite some time, and DDTrash closing in on 1 year as tag team champions. Something's got to give here.
Yeah, DDTrash winning those championships back at tradition with the use of the brass ring. But the winners have been nipping on their heels.
And if anybody can get the job done, it's two of the most decorated champions in OCW history. No Shame Jimmy Shane, the show Robbie Starr. There's a combined 5, 6 heavyweight championships there? 6.
6, yes.
6. So if anybody can get the job done, it's the winners. But
you also have to keep in mind those are singles championships. Those aren't
true.
Tag team championships.
But here's the thing. When Jimmy Shane and Robbie Starr set their mind to something, it will happen. They will accomplish their goal. When will that be? It could be tonight. DDTrash, a formidable opponent, though. Like I said, almost a year's reign. That is nuts in any industry to go a year doing something at the top, at the pinnacle of excellence. To do it here in OCW, as we close in on 20 years of tradition, huge.
But also keep in mind, Lord Thomas the Brute tonight will go one-on-one with the professional Brandon Fields with Agent Nick Hahn in his corner.
So you mean I have to sit through 2 times of Nick Hahn?
You will sit through it and you will enjoy it, Pauly.
You won't tell me what to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for Ohio Championship Wrestling?
And with that, ring announcer Pedro DeLuca making his way out to the ring.
It's nice to see Pedro. We haven't had him here in a few months, and it's great to have him back. Looking dapper as always. I think the cameraman and the ring announcer have
Did he just hit him a 20?
It's been too long.
that looked like a 50, but yeah.
You guys don't even remember me, do you? Alright, are you guys ready for OCW Final Cut? Alright, 3 people over here. Alright, well, our action is going to get underway in just a few moments, but before we can bring our action to you, we have a few customary announcements that we must make. First of all, if you don't know who I am, because I haven't been here in a while, my name is Pedro DeLuca. I'm going to be bringing you all the action here tonight. Okay, whatever. Alright, of all, this event is licensed exclusively through the state of Ohio for Ohio Championship Wrestling. These barricades are here for your protection. Please stay on your side of the barricade, and if the action leaves the ring, and it will, please back up out of the way of the wrestlers as they perform the maneuvers, because we don't want to see anyone get hurt here tonight. If you are involved in an altercation with anyone involved with Ohio Championship Wrestling, you will be ejected from the building and subject to legal prosecution because you are indeed committing a Class D felony. Also, please do not throw anything towards the ring or the ringside area. This is for the safety of you, our fans here tonight. So please keep all your pop bottles, food items, nacho chips, small children, ex-wives on your side of the barricade, and we'll try to keep the action on our side of the barricade. Having said that, all you kids in the audience here tonight, the action you are seeing here tonight is being done by trained professionals. So please leave the action in the ring and do not try anything you see here tonight at home, your friends, loved ones, teachers, ex-wives, exclusively, etc. We good? Okay, at this time, would you all please stand for our national anthems? So everybody please rise as we pay tribute to this great country that we call home. If you have not done so, if you want to keep up to date on all the happenings here in Ohio Championship Wrestling, make sure you are heading on over to ocwrestling.net. Make sure you are checking us out on all of our social medias, including the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And because we are a wrestling company, that means we have our own production company. So give it up for all the fine folks at Believe Land Media back here. And you can't have a wrestling product without having an expert commentary team. So give it up. First on play-by-play, give it up for Pauly! And providing the commentary that only he can, Drew the Werewolf Starner! All right, having said that, are you guys done hearing me talk? You want me to get the action out here? Oh, that's hurtful. Well, then you know what you need to do then, right? You all need to be standing. You all need to be excited. You need to be happy. You need to be loud. You need to cheer. You need to roar. But please don't trust because there are a little children here. So ladies and gentlemen, he is Starner World. And I say what's on the line. Proudly present to you Ohio Championship Wrestling Final Cut in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here we go! Ladies and gentlemen, our opening contest is a singles contest scheduled for one fall.
And we welcome you once again to Final Cut. Paul here alongside Drew the Werewolf Starner.
That's right, Big Wolfie here at Final Cut.
That's never going to catch on. I hope you understand that. But what is going to catch on is what's about to come through that curtain. Well, not that part.
Coming down the aisle, accompanied by his agent Nick Khan, and representing the Entourage, he weighs in at 209 pounds, wrestling out of Chapparell, Ohio, the professional Brandon Fields.
All respect to the professional Brandon Fields, but he continues to align himself with the agent Nick Khan. Khan has apparently promised each member of the Entourage they will be a champion by the end of 2023. with Jack Sampson being focused on the OCW Heavyweight Championship, Warhorse being focused on the OCW Tag Team Championship, and Fields, the Ohio Heritage Championship. That's a bold claim, Drew.
Yeah, but if there's anybody that can get it done, it is the Entourage.
Well, right now Nick Hahn has a microphone, so again...
I want you to shut your mouths for a minute so I have a moment of silence so you can hear what I gotta say. Tonight is going to be such a huge night for the Entourage. And we're going to start off... Shut up! We're going to start off with Brandon Fields ripping Lord Thomas the Brute's limbs off and then beating him to death with it. So, Pedro, bring him out here.
Well, that seems very violent.
He's a moment.
Perhaps a little wishful thinking, as Lord Thomas the Brute is no small man.
Yeah, but you also got to keep in mind, Brandon Fields, one man that Lord Thomas the Brute has not beaten in OCW.
The drums of Midgard herald the arrival of Lord Thomas the Brute. This mastodon of a man, the DBI 10 champion, focused solely on becoming the OCW heavyweight champion and finally putting an end to the guiding light Matthew Taylor. But for him tonight, another obstacle. This time, the Entourage. No stranger to the Entourage is Lord Thomas the Brute. He's dealt with them all of last year. You could argue that was what broke up Taylor and Lord Thomas the Brute as a tag team to begin with. That is a very sure confidence on the face of Lord Thomas the Brute.
Yeah, but Brandon Fields focused as well. Keep in mind, the last time that these two men went one-on-one was back at Danger Zone, and the match ended in a draw.
And that was an outdoor venue, Kim Tam Park at Melanie Springs, and we damn near blew the roof off the place and tore the building down.
I don't think it's physically possible.
Do you not have imagination?
Not really.
It won't take any imagination to see what's about to unfold in front of you here as Lord Thomas the Brute.
We are underway, and
What the hell?
Jexy Black making her way out here.
Wait a minute. That's that follower of the guiding light, Matthew Taylor. We know that the mysterious disciple is named Jexy Black. And she basically worships the ground that Matthew Taylor walks on, which is both frightening and dangerous.
And it looks like they're making their way over to the broadcast area.
Don't look at me, you have a professional there. Oh.
Well, the match has started. The
Hello,
bell has
guys.
rung.
Children, how are you this evening?
We're doing well, thank you.
Good. You're welcome for me being here.
Well, it's a little bit interesting to have you here because last month having some technical difficulties over there
That's
on the
what
other
it
end.
seems like. What's going on down there? What kind of operation are we running?
Well, I think they got into your spirits a little bit earlier in the night.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, whatever's in that bottle.
I've been here literally a half a minute, and you're starting.
I'm not starting anything. What's starting is this great matchup, and what a shot by Lord Thomas the Brute. Good God. Just flattening Fields, and then yeeting him across the ring.
You know, I taught him very well.
Did you, or did he learn from your mistakes?
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, keep in mind, as the
You got a problem with me, Paul.
Was that?
You got a problem with me, Paul.
I have no problem with you. You're
I'm
our
out
heavyweight
here.
champ. Oh.
I'm out here gracing you with my presence, being a kind, gentle, loving man that I am, and this is how you want to treat me?
Nothing personal.
How do you deal with this guy?
I don't know, but I'm going to have to deal with it the rest of the night.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I'm a bringer of love. Steaks, get out of here.
And what a shot there by Lord Thomas the Brute. The Brute is clearly looking ahead to you. He wants a championship matchup. Why won't you just face him one-on-one?
Because that is not how this business works. That's not how life works. You just can't want something to be handed to you. You have to earn it, Pauly. You have to earn it.
You snaked your way into his championship matchup that he had earned.
Oh, I am so sorry, Pauly. Were you asleep that whole night? Did I not win my match to earn that shot?
Okay, but we were under the impression that that match was going to come at a later date.
No,
not
you
that
were under
same
the
day.
impression it was never stated that it couldn't be used the same night.
I apologize for your ignorance, Pauly, but I did everything exactly right, down to the letter of the law of the contract. So you're welcome.
Meanwhile, Nick Hahn sticking his nose into the business of the Brute. That might not end well for him.
This is not called for. I taught you better than this, child. It's about love.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I've ever heard Nick Hahn apologize.
Nick Hahn's a great man.
Oh, and Fields uses that to just drive the boot straight to the side of the head.
Definitely taught him better than that.
And Nick Hahn is now attacking Lord Thomas the Brute. Come on!
See it that way at all.
Oh, did you teach him that?
Absolutely not. I would never put myself in that kind of a position to begin with.
Oh, God, into the ring post.
That's love.
How is that love?
It's tough love, Pauly. Tough love. Hey, buddy. Hey, I know you. You're doing good work, Nick.
Right now, Brandon Fields has firm control over Lord Thomas the Brute thanks to his agent, Nick Hahn, and that vicious assault on the outside. Now these boots to the midsection.
Oh, my goodness. I can't say I approve of that, but you did have it coming.
And again, Nick Hahn inserting himself into the match. He's choking the man on the bottom rope.
You're doing God's work.
Good God.
Hell of a man, Nick. Hell of a man. Thank you.
The Sinners unite. European uppercut there by Fields, who absolutely has control of the match, 100%.
That really looked like it hurt.
But it's a 2-on-1 handicap match with Nick Hahn constantly interfering.
Fields on the cover.
He's got it here, 2 count.
It's a shame it has to be that way because I always had his back, but he turned it on me. Maybe if he still loved me like I loved him, this wouldn't be happening.
Do you hold a grudge against Lord Thomas the Brute because he lost the tag team championships?
A grudge? No. No, heavens no, child. You see, I'm not that kind of man. You see, I'm a forgiving man. I'm a loving man. And
Cover here, 2 count on.
I feel that everyone has to learn from their mistakes, and that's what he's doing. You make a mistake, you learn from it. And sometimes learning hurts.
And again, Fields choking out his opponent. And again, the referee doing his job. A cheap shot that looked like a thumb to the eye.
Wonderful job, this referee.
Papa Smurf can only do so much. He has 2 eyes. It would take somebody inside the ring, outside the ring, and probably somebody manning the camera to make sure that Nick Hahn doesn't get involved in this matchup.
He's not getting involved at all. He's just doing his job as a manager. I don't know what your problem is tonight, Pauly. Listen, the match, this night has just begun, and you're already on everyone's case.
Well, I think tensions are high because we're heading towards tradition 20 years of OCW.
20 years.
I know you're going to want to be a part of that show.
I'm the most important part of that show. I'm your champion, Pauly. Your savior.
I mean, for now, you still have to defend the championship against Ryan Michaels later tonight.
I fail to see the issue here. I am your forever champion, Pauly. Forever!
Lord Thomas the Brute fights back, and the Brute is roaring to life. Only to get
Fields into the sweeper hold.
dead in his tracks. Man, Brandon Fields, every time Lord Thomas the Brute gets a little bit of momentum, Fields quickly there to stop him. But like I was saying before, there's no guarantee you're going to be the champion.
There's always a guarantee when you have the light on your side, sir. I will be your champion, like I said, forever.
Forever's a long time.
I don't care if it's Ryan Michaels, Thomas the Brute.
Brute firing back. Up, down to the back suplex. Fields was up in the lights for several seconds there.
Get up, Fields!
Drew, you talked about this earlier. Fields, one of the few competitors in OCW not to have been defeated by Lord Thomas the Brute.
Yeah, that one-on-one meeting ending in a draw back at Danger Zone.
Both men back to their feet. Who can swing the momentum back?
Come on, take him out.
Nobody home on the clothesline. My God, he ran through him.
Come on. Get your guy under control.
The Brute is unleashed. The sidewalk slam. Cover here. Two. He's got
Two count only.
God, that was so
Out.
close.
Thank goodness. The light is good. Thank goodness.
The mighty roar of the Brute has turned the tide. Boom!
He's fighting
Spinebuster.
Brandon.
Cover. He's got the victory. No.
2 count.
My God, what a vicious spinebuster.
Get this under control, Han.
There's nothing Nick can do. He's outside the ring.
Oh, I thought you said he was affecting the match so much earlier. Now you said there's nothing he can do?
Not inside the ring. He can only watch in horror as his man, Brandon Fields, might be about to go for the ride on this power slam. Fields able to snake out the back door. Oh, what a boot to the
My
face.
goodness. Good night,
Fields
Sean.
into the
Got it.
cover.
Brute's out cold. No.
Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable that Brute able to kick out of that boot straight to the face.
This is unacceptable. This is unreal.
That's Lord Thomas the Brute. That's
Stay
the man
down,
who is coming
child.
after you.
Coming after me. Please.
Fields saying this is it. Going for the ripcord. Going for the ripcord. Nobody home on the lariat. But there was somebody home on the other side.
No, put him down.
Running power suplex. Covered by the Brute. 2, and it is over.
You know, sometimes in life you have to do things yourself, children.
What does that mean? Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going? Wait a minute. Matthew Taylor from behind. Somebody get it. Turn around, Brute. No.
With a chop block to the knee.
It was disgusting. Oh, no. Oh, Brute's got him up. Brute's got him up. Taylor was nearly planted into the mat.
Watch your mouth. OCW! Fully coward!
It was very clear from the discussion we were having here on the broadcast that Matthew Taylor wants nothing to do with Lord Thomas the Brute in the ring. And you just saw why. much about his disciple, he being Matthew Taylor. Jexie Black, I believe her name is.
Yes.
She scares the hell out of me.
Did she get a little too up close and personal, Pauly?
She stared at me like if her eyes had daggers, I would be dead. And I can only imagine what that's like for our competitors in the ring, seeing her outside the ring now. It's another element of Matthew Taylor that we have to be prepared for.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was informed by Mr. Glenn Lane that if you would like to purchase pre-sale tickets for our next event right back here on April the 8th, they are available right now at the door. They will be on sale all night long. You don't miss out on getting your pre-sale tickets for our next show right back here on April the 8th. Are you guys ready for some tag team action?
Actually, I have a little bit of news about that night,
Before we
as I
enter the
understand
contest,
it.
it's scheduled for one fall.
We'll get to that in just a moment. So as I understand it, our next event is going to feature several matches, qualifying matches for the Brass Ring Gauntlet at Tradition in May.
Yes.
So we're very excited about that because never before has it been more important to win in this ring.
For the first time since November of 2021, Warhorse will be competing in a traditional tag team match here in OCW.
And that night was very important because that was the night that OCW General Manager Glenn Lane gave Warhorse the ultimatum: win the tag team titles or you cannot team together as long as the current champions were still champions. They lost. And unfortunately, for lack of a better term, we lost Warhorse. That sucked. But to see them go down this path with Nick Hahn is just abysmal.
Well, wouldn't you be a little perturbed if you were told you couldn't team with your tag team partner?
I'm not saying I wouldn't be, but there are opportunities in OCW. They could have both gone after singles gold. Both of them are more than capable of that. You know that better than anybody. With you being in Nick Hahn's back pocket.
And their opponents.
Drew, it's time to put on your boogie shoes.
I'm not putting on any boogie shoes.
Sweet and honey, James the Hickey. And his tag team partner, weighing in 417 packets, wrestling at Paris Flames, Chapparell and
I think Sean Paul got into the sweets a little bit.
You know how I said earlier that I went to the bakery and all I wanted was a donut?
Yes.
I never did say I did get that donut, by the way. I was handed an empty box.
Oh, Sean Paul must have been working in the back. That happens a lot.
But I digress.
You got to go on Tuesdays.
Yeah, this tag team forming over a game of patty cake. But let me tell you something. If they don't take Warhorse seriously, they're going to leave as pancakes.
I will not deny that Warhorse is a dangerous, dangerous team. They call themselves the best in the Midwest. To be honest, they could be the best on the planet if they really wanted it. And I know they do. But this personal family feud between James the Baker Hickey and Pat the Bruiser is just, it seems like it's impeding their progress.
But the thing is, nobody ever said family doesn't break up.
Family doesn't fight like this family has been fighting. Pat the Bruiser seems to want to eliminate James the Baker Hickey from OCW. And that's too far. Wins and losses, that's a whole other thing. That's what we do in this business. Eliminating a human being from their position here. Taking the ability to put food on somebody's table off their table. That's a problem, especially when they're family. It looks like Jean-Paul wants to start. And setting the scene now.
Oh, Baker with his look of aggression on his face.
Well, right now, what's happening is they're calming down. They're getting everything focused, prepared. You know you're about to go into a difficult battle here. There goes the bell. And Jean-Paul is face-to-face with Crosshairs Kelly. And Jean-Paul has... I'm not sure what's in the hand there. That could be flour from the bakery. Oh.
Is that really necessary?
It's the ultimate sign of disrespect. Right now, it looks like Jean-Paul just nailed the man into... Oh, man, he just went around it. That's not good. You need a better engineer there. It's a doorway of some sort, and you just can't... It's bigger than it needs to be. It's a big doorway, you know? There we go. See, now this is smart strategy. You're going to nail the man into a box of some sort. Keep him so that he can't get out. Oh, God!
They just won $1,000 worth of lumber.
You're not adjusting for inflation, my friend. Jean-Paul just rolling out of the way of danger. Very smart strategy. Oh, Pat the Bruiser trying to take a swing at the master mime. This is very solid pantomiming. Oh, got him on the foot. End of him. Tag, here comes the Baker. And I think the physicality might ramp up a little bit.
Now, this isn't wise, playing patty cake with Warhorse out here.
Well, they played patty cake all over his chest. The Baker firing off those rolling pin forearms. Continuing the patty cake barrage. Good God. It's the most violent game of patty cake I've ever seen in my life. Well, not since Istanbul in 1972, but that doesn't count. Into the corner goes the Baker, and that's not patty cake! Tag. Oh, the fun and games might be over for the Baker. Straight choke, come on. Oh, and now Crosshairs Kelly with the rake of the eyes. It looked like he had his fingernails right into the eye sockets, actually. Good God, one chop.
There's some patty cake for you.
Flattened the man. Oh, my God. These two men, the Baker and the Bruiser, brothers. But that's only by blood. That is not how life has gone recently for them. Nice cross body block cover here. Could have it. No.
2 count only.
Tag. In comes Jean-Paul. This will be interesting to see the first double team maneuver. That didn't work. Oh my God!
Ran them both over.
Cover on Jean-Paul. 2 count. My God. Pat the Bruiser took down 2 men at the same time with that crossbody.
Now driving the knee into the back of Jean Paul.
Like a horror movie come to life. And this has got to be excruciating for Jean Paul. You can hear the visceral, and you can just feel the energy of how much pain and misery that man is in, Drew. Oh! Looked like Pat the Bruiser might have grabbed the hair of the head. That is illegal. Referee's discretion there.
Crosshairs Kelly making the tag.
And then tagging the face of Jean Paul. The master mime is out on his feet here. Planted off that butterfly. This could be over. A little bit disrespectful. Come on. That's not the kind of pin that wins a match, Drew.
Yeah, but it makes a statement.
That, on a cheap shot to the Baker. Come on, Crosshairs Kelly. That was once an honorable man. This 2-on-1 assault of Jean Paul. Nick Hahn already 0 for 1 tonight, hoping not to go 0 for 2, I would assume. I don't know, Nick's a weird person. But he hasn't stuck his nose in this match, to be honest. It's been all Crosshairs and Pat the Bruiser. My God, what a clothesline. Cover, again, not a heavy lateral press. What is up with this cover? You want to make a statement, win the match, Drew.
Well, it's mind games. And the master mime, Jean Paul, likes to play mind games, so why not play mind games back?
He's not playing mind games, he's a mime. That's what mimes do.
And that's what Crosshairs Kelly does. Just raining down shots.
My God. That entire weight of Crosshairs Kelly along the small of the back of Jean Paul. Tag. Jean Paul is in no man's land right now, and the air raid sirens are blaring. Again, using the ropes, choking out Jean Paul. Remember, at 5, the referee would disqualify. And there's Nick Hahn, almost on cue, choking the life out of Jean Paul again. Does he not have faith in his guys that he has to get involved?
He has plenty of faith in the entourage.
Then let them do their job. There's no need for Nick Hahn to be getting physically involved. Unless he wants to get back in the wrestling ring. God, what a cheap shot sends the Baker flying. The Bruiser wasn't even the legal man. That boot to the side of the head, that boot almost as big as Jean Paul's head.
Oh, and a kick to the mush.
Face wash in the corner, and that might have washed all of the paint off of Jean Paul's face.
Jean Paul may be out.
He's a great mime, but even I don't think he's faking on this one. He's taunting James the Baker Hickey. Jean Paul trying desperately to make the tag. Crawling with every breath he can take. But Crosshairs Kelly wasn't going to let that happen. He wants to punish the master mime. Going for, looked like a face buster off of that. Can Jean Paul make the tag here? Could change the complexion. Tag made on both sides. Here we go. The brothers go to war right now. Look at the Baker going after both members of Warhorse. Doesn't matter if there's 2 or 200. What a shot to the midsection. And 1 for Crosshairs. But it was 2 men against 1, and this was always bound to happen, Drew.
Pat the Bruiser firmly in control of the Baker.
You hope that wasn't the last gasp of, oh, wait a minute, belly to belly! Beautiful belly to belly. Cover. Can Baker do it? He's got 2.
2 count only.
Man, the Baker, that was almost a desperation belly to belly. And I know that sounds weird to say with how much weight is in a belly to belly suplex, but man, that might have been the last gasp. Oh man. Jean Paul using the weight. Cover, cover, no.
2 count only.
2 men could not hold down Pat the Bruiser. Oh, and a shot there to Crosshairs Kelly. Can't say he hasn't deserved it after how many cheap shots he and Pat the Bruiser have taken it. Sweet silence tonight. Oh my!
Overhand club from Crosshairs Kelly.
God almighty. Jean Paul just kind of trying to stay above water here. Went for the tornado DDT. Oh my God, what whiplash. Jean Paul may be out cold. Tag. This does not look good for the Baker.
Hoss toss!
Center of the ring, cover by Crosshairs Kelly. It's over. My God.
Here are your winners, Warhorse!
Warhorse with a destructive victory here
And I
tonight.
don't think they're done yet. Unfortunately, Jean Paul could be sacrificed as well. Oh, not again.
Hoss toss!
Come on, haven't you done enough?
Somebody grab the spatula, they're done.
The statement has been sent to the OCW Tag Team Division. No fun and games from Warhorse. They want back the gold. Just an outright disrespectful victory here tonight.
Disrespectful. They were effective out here tonight is what they were.
They didn't need to attack Jean Paul after the match. That was uncalled for. Jean Paul is a Class A mind. He doesn't need to be attacked like that. He's just trying to bring levity and joy. Man, the Baker is just... It has not been the Baker's year. Still searching for that first win in 2023. Oh no. Well, he still has his thing of sweets. Man, oh man, that's a tough way to end that. Hope that doesn't mean it's the end for Baker and Jean Paul as a tag team. I think they could be a great tag team. They
Little dissension in the ranks right now, though.
I mean, you pulled the number 1 seed if you're in the tournament, quote unquote, you know, with March Madness and all that going around. Like that's the number 1 seed. It's Warhawk.
Please welcome to the ring the host of Money Talks, Kenny Cash.
And welcome to this edition of Money Talks with Kenny Cash.
Well, let's see if third time's the charm for Kenny. Because the last 2 occasions, he's ended up in a match because of what he said during Money Talks. And I'm very curious to hear from his guest, Jake Ely, the former OCW heavyweight champion, who seems to think that everybody's disrespected him.
Well, I'm definitely curious on what Jake Ely has to say after losing the Ohio Heavyweight Championship in a triple threat match without being involved in the decision.
Look, that's the rules of a triple threat match. That's the breaks in a triple threat match. Sometimes the champion doesn't get pinned. Jake knew that because Jake is a professional. Unfortunately, he didn't know the match was going to be a triple threat until 35 seconds after it was.
Hey, you boys, shut it. I got a lot more than you, trust me. So, welcome back to the best show in professional wrestling, Money Talks. Okay. Now this month I have a very, very special guest, an actual good one. So y'all better not embarrass me. Y'all tell y'all little snotbox kids to shut up so we can handle business. So, you just mad you can't grow hair. Or you can't grow hair. You just all messed up. We're not wasting no more time on you. Allow me to introduce my special guest, former OCW heavyweight champion, the electric Jake Ely.
Well, the Thunderbird is not one who doesn't like to hear himself talk, so this could be an interesting Money Talks.
I'm very interested in what Thunderbird Jake Ely has to say.
Shut it, go on, Kenny, let him talk. Hey, let him talk. Let him talk, sit down. Sit down. Go ahead, sir. Tell him how good I am.
Thank you.
Tell him about how good I am, Kenny. Tell him about how last time I was here, Glenn Lane was making me fight a clown because he thinks I'm for a joke or something, right? Tell him about how tonight they didn't give Jake Ely a match. I'm electric Jake Ely. Anyway, champion of the world, they didn't give me a match, okay? Well, what makes the Thunderbird feel? Very freaking angry, and you don't like me when I'm angry, okay? Look at me, I wear green, you know what I'm saying? That time of year, yes it is. Look at these guys, look at these guys. If you're not these guys right here, the rest of y'all can kick rocks. Okay, yeah, not bad, Kenny, that's good. That's good, right? Listen, we don't need nobody, we don't need Glenn Lane. We don't need these people. You know what I'm saying, Kenny? Look, they all think we're a joke. They all think we're a joke, but we're not a joke. We're not a joke at all.
Absolutely not. This is the former OCW World Champion. Don't show to my head.
Remind them, I'll be out here all night telling these people how good that the weight champion used to be. But you know what? That's not the end of my story, because I'm going to keep on going. Okay?
Hey, wait a minute! That's the OCW General Manager, Glenn Lane!
What is he doing out here?
Whatever he wants, he runs the thing.
Why do you make it a habit of interrupting the most entertaining show in professional wrestling, Money Talks? Kenny. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. You good? He's getting hyped. Jake, calm down. Listen. You're all right. And everybody here knows it. You know what? You can have the night off. I'm going to give you the night off. Jake, you're right. I didn't forget about you. I have an opponent for you. Would you guys like to see Jake Ely in the ring tonight? Sounds like they want it. You're going to get the night off. So let's go ahead and let's get Jake Rose out here.
What?
Wait, what? Jake Rose making his way out to the ring here. As we are being joined at this time by the OCW General Manager Glenn Lane.
I can't hear anything you're saying, Werewolf. I think you should wait a minute till the music stops so I can talk. Holy moly.
It's great to have you out here, Glenn.
Hey, yo, Pauly, what's up, baby?
Congratulations on being the most booked guest on Money Talks. You've been on all 3 shows now.
Man, I just want to take a second to thank all the OCW fans, Kenny Cash, and you, Pauly.
Well, thank you. The bell goes, and we have this battle, Jacob Rose versus Jake Ely. Rose calls himself the future, and based on what we've seen, he really is the future.
Yeah, he's a young kid. He's doing great. So far in his OCW debuts here, he's doing great. It was hard, with the stat card that I put together tonight, it was hard to find room, but I found it.
And this is a great matchup for both of these two to showcase their talents heading into tradition. 20-year anniversary of OCW. I know we've mentioned that a few times tonight, but it is the most important thing in OCW history.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, and I don't take anything away from Jake Ely either. I mean, great champ.
Nice Falcon Arrow cover here. First cover of the match.
2 count only.
We might have glossed over the fact that Jake Ely has OCW heavyweight champion 429 days.
Very impressive.
That's the 5th longest reign in the title's history.
Yep, very impressive. Yeah, I don't take anything away from Jake Ely. And this is a good challenge for both of these young, and in all honesty, both these young men. They're both very young and in their primes.
Rose, meanwhile, trying to maybe recover a little bit there. The rope is not going to help him in this case, though. And Kenny Cash still at ringside. Oh, come on. I thought you gave him the night off.
Well, I did.
Well, Kenny Cash is still going to be out here at ringside, it looks like. As Ely drives that boot into the side of the head of Jacob Rose. I mean, we talk about opportunities. Can you imagine if Jacob Rose defeats the 5th longest reigning OCW heavyweight champion in history? Oh, between the legs. Come on.
What? He hit himself, Pauly.
Yeah, you sound just like Ely explaining that to me.
Oh.
It's disgusting.
I didn't know Werewolf was here.
He's effective at times.
I got you.
Ely going for a suplex. Rose able to turn the momentum. Ely.
You smell delicious, though, Werewolf. Oh, never mind. It's me. It's me.
Oh, what a stomp! That could do it right there. Cover by Rose. He's got it.
Oh, come on.
What's Kenny doing in there?
2 count.
With respect to Kenny Cash, he has no business in this match. Money Talks is over. We have a huge matchup in front of us.
Defibrillator.
Might be dead on arrival, though. And the Thunderbird wasting little time. To the top rope he goes.
The Thunderbird looking to fly.
Cacaw. Oh, nobody home on that. Ely in absolute agony. Rose trying to rally the OCW faithful. And I still don't understand why Kenny Cash is out here. Hey, wait a minute. Ely's got the hat. Ely just put something on his boot. That's that weight that he hasn't used in months. Oh, but Rose, bang! Zoom! Straight to the moon. Rose might have just stolen this thing. Landed. Rose could have it here. Cover. 2. It's over.
That's a great match.
Shouldn't be allowed to
That's a
stand.
great match. Fair's fair.
Jake Rose used a weapon. How is that fair?
He didn't
I thought it was great.
Right in front
What
of
did you
the
see? I
boss.
didn't see nothing. I was over here looking at this fan waving to her. She had the hots for me. That's what I was looking at. I didn't see it. What happened? Great match.
Jake Rose
Is a rising star. Pauly, it's always good to talk to you, buddy.
Always a pleasure.
Werewolf, you need to get your glasses checked. That was a great match.
Your argument, Drew, is that a weapon was used.
Yes.
But the weapon was going to be used by Jake Ely. Would you have argued about that?
Just because it was brought into the ring didn't mean he was going to use it.
And maybe Kenny Cash would be smart to stay away from Jacob Rose matches.
Yeah, that happened in front of the boss, who's supposed to be impartial out here. But he was distracted by the fans.
Well, the OCW faithful do a great job of getting loud and rowdy.
I digress.
I mean, that's just the way it goes sometimes.
But still on tap tonight, 3 huge title matches.
What the hell is that? Some masked individual is being chased by security. We apologize for the brief interruption. Just, where the hell did he come from?
I don't know, but he's sprinting through there like a track star, I'll tell you that much.
The following singles contest is scheduled for one fall. It will be for the OCW Ohio Heritage Championship.
Well, something bizarre happening and Derek Dillinger appearing, probably not coincidental.
Derek Dillinger, the Ohio Heritage Champion for 126 days. But I do have to talk about the news that came out earlier this week. Derek Dillinger involved in an auto accident this past week, but still here to defend the Ohio Heritage Championship here tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the pictures from that accident. It's amazing that he's okay after that. As I understand it from the Highway Patrol office, that the accident report was filed on the car was airborne, that is scary in and of itself.
Right.
The fact that Dillinger's even here to compete, whether you like him or hate him, that's
It just
impressive.
shows you the toughness of Dillinger.
And wasn't he just in Canada
Yeah.
Friday?
Yeah.
So
Ladies and gentlemen, Ohio Championship Wrestling proudly presents to you its reigning and defending Ohio Heritage Champion, weighing in at 270 pounds, wrestling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Super Indy Scorsese, Andy Tarantino, the Ace Degenerate, the Director of the Production, Derek Dillinger!
damn, Pedro damn near blew out a lung. But that's Dillinger. He truly believes he's the director of all of this.
Bryant Huff earning this opportunity last month by winning the #1 contendership triple threat match.
And it's worth noting, when asked who he wanted to face out of that triple threat match, Derek Dillinger specifically said Bryant Huff. This is a match that Dillinger has wanted, and he's going to get it with the Ohio Heritage Championship on the line. What an opportunity for both of these men.
100%.
And the thing is with Bryant Huff, every time we talk about the next big star, his name is always at the top of that list. And it's a very short list right now because we have so many great stars, but the next big star is waiting around the corner. Can Bryant Huff make that transition to superstardom as a champion tonight?
To do that, he's going to have to get through Derek Dillinger.
Not an easy task.
Not at all.
But if anybody is willing to take that chance to pass that test, it's Bryant Huff.
Announce this guy right there. Funniest guy here. Announce him. Tell him this guy in his dad t-shirt, bald head with his kids are probably embarrassed of him. Funniest guy here. Announce it for me. Announce it for me.
And the director of the production,
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek Dillinger proudly presents to you.
I don't know, but from the look of the guy, his shadow weighs 45 pounds.
Bryant Huff, very comfortable in big match, high pressure situations here in OCW. I think every match he's been in has either been a championship matchup or a #1 contenders match.
Yeah.
Even the DBI. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a young man. I mean, for Bryant Huff, all it takes is one win to put himself into the pantheon of greats in OCW.
Yeah, but to do that, he's got to beat a man that is born and bred in violence in Derek Dillinger.
And has to worry about the fact that Chuck the Truck Morris still has a bullseye on him and is coming for him possibly tonight. We've still got that huge matchup, the open challenge. Derek Dillinger gets to pick anybody to face Chuck the Truck Morris. If Chuck wins, he gets a shot at Derek. And that's important because for Chuck, there really isn't another direction until he can vanquish Derek Dillinger. So that's got to be weighing on the back of the mind of Dillinger. Beautiful waist lock there by the champion. But Huff able to turn it around, utilize some mat game of his own here.
That mat wrestling skill of Bryant Huff.
On a shot there. That arm in a very uncomfortable position. Bryant Huff able to turn the tide, works the arm himself. Down to the mat. This is a very strong strategy here for him. Rolled over into the cover. Just a 1 count there. I think a lot of people know Derek Dillinger for his violence, not realizing he is an accomplished mat wrestler.
Oh, 100%.
And Huff wants to go toe-to-toe with Dillinger. That's fine. That might not be the best strategy here. Down to the knee. Twisting that arm. Look at the way that elbow is hyperextending. That can't feel comfortable at all. Oh, God.
But also look at the way the wrist is bent back.
We talked about it before. You control a man's wrist, you control the man. Dillinger on the mat, trying to get back to his feet. He's to his knees and back to his feet. I think the thing that may have worked against Huff there was that Dillinger got back to his feet before Huff could. Nice head scissor there. Headlock takeover, cover, 1 count. Leg trip, cover, not even a 1 count there. Leg trip of his own, cover, 1. And the OCW faithful showing appreciation there for that series of technical prowess. Is this Dillinger trying to get in the head of Bryant Huff?
Oh, wow.
Is that a real...
Show of respect from Dillinger.
Does Dillinger respect anybody? Look, he's been in the ring with some greats across, just in his tour of Canada that he just came back from. I've never heard him say the phrase, "I respect you."
I don't think I've ever heard him say that either.
Maybe a new leaf being turned over by the Heritage Champion? Nope. Lowered his guard, did Huff, and he paid for it. My God, what a backflip. Beautiful arm drag by Huff. Picking up the pace here. Hip toss connects. Bryant Huff. What a shooting star. Cover for the championship.
1 count.
I don't think Dillinger was expecting that. Dillinger trying to take some time to recuperate. Oh my God! It's a superhero movie come to life. Bryant Huff giving chase. And outsmarting the director. Did you ever think that would happen? Off the springboard clothesline. What a maneuver. My God. Bryant Huff will do whatever it takes to become champion. Take whatever risk necessary off the springboard. Powerbomb. Cover off the powerbomb. 2 count.
He planted him with that.
It looked like Huff was trying to go for maybe a kick of some sort, and Dillinger had it scouted. And maybe this is the instinctual nature of Derek Dillinger. Knows what a quote-unquote high-fly style wrestler is capable of goes to that defense mechanism and tactic. The thing with Dillinger, and the reason why he's so dangerous to Chuck the Truck Morris, is that he always has an answer for any type of offense there is.
Yeah.
Like right now, a very deep headlock.
And that was smart of Dillinger, too, covering the eyes, covering the nose, making it hard for Huff to see and breathe.
God, the back of Huff's head bouncing off the mat was horrific. And again to the neck. He could permanently injure this man. And he does not care, does Dillinger. This young man's career is in the hands of Derek Dillinger right now. And unfortunately, he is attacking the neck.
Yeah, that's just going to make the whole body of Bryant Huff just numb up. Going to make it hard to get any grip whatsoever. Hard to move, really.
Another chop flattens the challenger. 3 in a row by Dillinger.
Big senton there.
Connects with that. And Dillinger just kind of surveying the landscape. Cover here. 2 count. I think that little hesitation, surveying the landscape, taking in everything that's going on, might have cost him there. Home on the boot. Roll through. Schoolboy roll up. Only a 1 count. Nice splash in the corner by Dillinger. Follows up with that. Oh my God. This is just, that's, again, what is with the disrespectful cover there?
You got to get in the head of your opponent there, Pauly.
You can just win like a normal human being.
Like I said, make a statement.
And across the middle rope, the face of Bryant Huff. That boot across the side of the face. No, no, no!
Ran him over with that boot.
That was horrifying. Dillinger is directing this horror film come to life.
Wrenching on the neck of Bryant Huff.
He wants to hear that man scream. But Huff taking those shots, trying to fight back, only to get wrenched further down to the mat. This is like watching Freddy Krueger play with his victims. But Huff fires back. My God, just planted into the cover. That's got to be it. But no, a 2 count from the ever tough, ever resilient Bryant Huff. For Dillinger, this feels like he's taking him not taking him seriously, Drew. He's been playing with this man's emotions all match long. Since the very beginning when he said, "I respect you," and then used that to lower the boom with a headbutt. Bryant able to duck out of the way. Oh God, both men had the same idea. Terrifying clothesline at the middle.
Both men down center of the ring.
Whoever can get up first may have control of the match, although if neither man can get up, this would end, unfortunately, in a draw. The OCW faithful rallying Huff. Just looking in Huff's eyes, he looks like he's in another time zone right now.
Referees count to 7.
Both men up, but Huff meets him at the pass with a right hand. Oh, that chop. And a big knee there by Huff. Another
Just
chop.
slugging it out in the middle of the ring.
Big pump kick there by Huff. At this point, Huff throwing everything. Both men met with that forearm. Significant damage done to both men. Smart by Huff to slow that down, but Dillinger returns the favor. Another boot to the face. Huff going back to the well once again, maybe a third time, and he saw it coming to Dillinger. Dillinger looked like he was going for a Death Valley driver, perhaps. He had him in the fireman's carry. Both men going for the fireman's carry. Huff out of the corner. Able to evade like he's made out of... Like there's springs in his boots. There have to be. Some of the things that Bryant Huff has done, I don't understand. Going for that fireman's carry. Dillinger from behind. How in the hell did he land the German suplex out? Planted with the driver cover. 2, he's got the championship.
2 count only.
My God, a 2 count. And Huff, maybe that was his final shot. Because you can see that a little bit of desperation creeping in across the face of Bryant Huff. I think he really thought he had it with that shot, Drew.
Yeah, but referee Porter O'Shea saying only 2.
Back to the drawing board. Pull something out of the bag of tricks that you haven't used in a while. You're in deep waters with the champion, Derek Dillinger. Nobody home on the splash. Oh, those clotheslines. Just clubbing blows to the chest. And another.
Big German suplex there.
Huff collapsed in a heap off that German suplex. And a shot from behind by Dillinger.
Dillinger into the cover.
Off that forearm to the back. Kick out at 2. There is a never say die attitude in Bryant Huff that not many men on this planet can match. Nobody home there? Oh, the stomp! Can Huff do it? Struggling to the top rope. A place he is very familiar and calls home. From the rafters. Oh!
Nobody home.
Into the buckle with that sunset flip. And the double knees connect.
Into the cover.
2, and it's over. My God, those knees
Here's
are
your winner, and still Ohio Hardest Champion, Derek Dillinger.
Huff gave it everything he had. He should not be disappointed or ashamed in himself and what he did here tonight. He threw everything he had at Derek Dillinger. Sometimes you just don't have quite enough to get it done. Dillinger quickly to the backstage to continue directing the production.
It's going to be interesting to see later on tonight who Derek Dillinger chose to be the opponent of Chuck the Truck Morris.
And it could be anybody. You could pull somebody from that Canadian tour that he was just on. He could have brought him with him across the border.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to take a brief 15-minute intermission. Take this opportunity to get those pre-sale tickets for our next show right back here on April the 8th. Visit the concession stand, get yourself something to eat, something to drink. We'll be right back in 15 minutes. We still got 3 big matches to go, including 2 championship bouts. Take this opportunity to meet and greet some of your favorite OCW superstars. I see one half of DDTrash is on the way his way over to the merchandise table. Stop over and meet Ron Mavis, one of your favorite OCW superstars. We'll be making their way out shortly, and we'll be back with the second half in just a few.
And still to come tonight, our main event for the OCW Heavyweight Championship. The Guiding Light Matthew Taylor defends against Ryan Michaels. You don't want to go anywhere. The second half of Final Cut is coming up next.
I'm going to go see if
And welcome back. The second half of OCW Final Cut to begin shortly here. And it looks like we're going to be joined on commentary for our next match by the agent Nick Hahn.
I'll be right with you. I'm on an important phone call.
I wouldn't expect anything
Shut up!
less. Still to come tonight, who will be the hand-picked opponent for Chuck the Truck Morris? Derek Dillinger picking the poison of Chuck the Truck Morris here tonight.
Boy, did Derek Dillinger look real good early tonight. He's entourage material, guys.
Always recruiting, huh, Dick?
What else would I be doing?
Are you guys ready for the second
I'm either recruiting or I'm advocating.
highly entertaining. I can see I'm a little too popular.
Oh, and Pauly, just in case you're wondering, you are not entourage material.
Oh, darn.
I can see the disappointment in your face. I can see it.
Championship matches.
I think he's about to cry.
Well, I don't know if that or he just realized how ugly he was. Single, Pauly?
Championship matches. Are you guys ready?
How about that? I got engaged a few weeks ago.
Hey, congratulations.
Oh, congratulations to her. Luckiest woman on the planet. I'm out here because I want to watch this tag team championship match because I know you guys saw my guys Warhorse. They have got to be the #1 contenders for the OCW Tag Team Championships.
Can't argue that point. After what Warhorse did tonight, they looked absolutely dominating.
Absolute destruction. Worst theme music in the business.
The winners excited for
That
an
is the
opportunity.
worst dancing I've ever seen in my life.
They're having fun, Nick. That's why you
It's
did.
not about having fun, it's about wins.
Well, the winners.
By name only.
Who did they beat last month?
I don't remember.
Do you remember, Drew?
It was like Gino, wasn't it? And Asher?
Yeah. Two of your good friends, as I recall.
Okay. What the hell's your point?
Seems like your friends could have done a better job of stopping the winners.
Seems like you could do a better job of shutting the hell up. Hey, wearing a cowboy hat's Jock Sampson's gimmick.
Together they are your reigning and defending OCW Tag Team Champions, DDTrash!
DDTrash, the OCW Tag Team Champions for 336 days, winning those championships back at tradition.
Yeah, because they've been ducking Warhorse.
I don't know if I agree with that. More so, Warhorse has been ducking them.
Why are you trying to agitate me? I came out here and don't raise your hands up at me.
I'm not trying to agitate you, but this was the first tag
Drew,
team
you
matchup.
promised he wasn't going to be a. You promised.
I know, and I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, this was the first traditional tag team matchup Warhorse has had since losing the tag team championships back in November of 2021.
Yeah, and
Seems
I
like
put
if they
together, I reunited the most dominant force in OCW history. You can't deny it.
Can't deny that at all, but it seems like you would have just said, hey, give him a title match, and you probably would have been successful.
Well, unfortunately, Glenn Lane still harbors some negative feelings towards me.
You mean that time he splashed you at Summerfest?
You mean the splash of the water? You know, if there was drier conditions, no match. I would have paintbrushed him left and right.
I mean, you guys could always run it back.
I've moved on. I don't dwell on the past. I don't think about the ones who got away like you do when you're laying in bed at night thinking about that girl in 4th grade that kind of smiled at you. But what we're talking about here, these are two very, very talented tag teams in OCW. And DDTrash, they give an impression like you know, with the way they dress that they're not world-class athletes, but they really, really are.
You could also argue they're the two most popular tag teams in OCW.
Popularity means nothing to me.
But it means something to the OCW faithful.
I don't care about them or their families or their dogs or whatever.
Well, this is going to beg the question. Can the winners take out the trash, or does DDTrash make the winners go bye, bye, bye?
Ooh, solid work. Yeah. He was working on that one for 2 weeks. You're speechless down there, Pauly. You are without speech.
Yes, I am. But as soon as the bell goes, we will be underway for this tag team championship
Those are
matchup.
real stupid-looking glasses. Where do you get those from?
What do you have against me? I'm not a bad guy.
No, I just don't like you, like, in general. And that's okay. You're not everybody's cup of tea. That's why you're single.
It's fair.
Tell him, Drew. Tell him. You're happily married.
Yeah,
Every day?
yeah.
My man. Pauly, I got some friends I can set you up with if you want.
Are they entourage material?
Well, you asked too many questions.
I don't know if I do that to a friend, Nick.
You really are in a position to be picky.
Can we focus on the match right now? This could arguably be one of the most entertaining matches, tag team matches in OCW history.
Leave it on, Jimmy. Oh, my gosh. All the female fans in attendance are now asking for their money back.
No, they're heading up to the stands right now. Get those pre-sale tickets for next month back here at Chapparell's. April 8th, as I recall the date.
Hey, Keith, can we have a wrestling match now?
Warhorse would already have these guys defeated and in the back in the shower.
There's respect between these two teams, Nick. That's important.
I mean, Pat respects Crosshairs and likewise the other way around.
But they don't respect any other team, as evidenced by the number of
What does that have-
lackadaisical tags
What
they
does
made.
that have to do with anything? Well, finally, there's a bell.
The bell goes and the tag team championship is on the line. DDTrash defends against the winners. Jimmy Shane trying to use that fist bump as an... Oh, DDT already? No. Oh, big spear! The championship! It could be over right here. 1, 2, no!
Mathis right there to break it up.
Wow! We were just seconds away from new tag team champions right there.
I mean, normally when you have a tag team match with Robbie and Jimmy, they usually got the experience advantage. They've been around a long time. But I don't know if that's true with it when they're in there with Bruce and Ron.
Absolutely, both men on the DDTrash side, very well respected.
And probably the foremost ugliest guys in OCW.
Oh my lord. Tag.
What'd you say, Drew?
I was just agreeing with you.
God bless.
Double knees out of the corner, and then a jawbreaker by the show. Off the second rope with the axe smash cover here by Jimmy Shane. Could he have it?
2 count only.
Now, you're not going to beat a guy like Bruce Gray that quickly. You know, you're really going to have to wear him down. He's one of the toughest competitors I've ever seen.
The master of the DDT, Bruce Gray. Off the ropes, beautiful backbreaker there by Jimmy Shane. Quickly into the cover, hooks the leg, 2 and only 2.
We talk about him with the DDT. I don't know if he could DDT Crosshairs or Pat. I don't think he could do it.
He's DDT'd everybody else.
What did I say? I said he can't do it to those two guys. He did everybody else.
Well, everybody else isn't Warhorse.
Cover up the flapjack. And 2. Bruce Gray is taking a lot of damage to the midsection.
See, if Robbie wants to win right now, he'll slip that hand underneath the throat and really pull on that esophagus.
Oh, you mean cheat?
I'm sorry?
That would be a cheat. That'd be an illegal
That would be
move.
being effective, Pauly.
Pauly, do you always drive 55 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone, or do you go 60?
I set my cruise control like most normal people.
Like at what speed is what I'm saying?
55 miles an hour.
You're an idiot.
60, 65. I got places to be.
My man gets it.
Off the top
at
comes
Ron.
Ron Mathis like a cannonball coming in.
And look at the thumbtacks on the bottom of the man's boots. He's been in some wars.
Power slam connects. Most of those wars actually happening here. Ron Mathis is not afraid to take 2 shots to give 1. But right now, like a freight train a-coming.
Leveled him.
Star off his feet. Nearly collides with his tag team partner.
Oh, I think they did collide.
Looked like a tornado DDT off the chest of Robbie Starr.
Really planted him on top of his head.
Yeah.
And Mathis to the top rope. What's he thinking here?
Mathis
With a big elbow
drop.
Cover on Jimmy Shane for the tag team championship. Robbie Starr able to make the save there.
Yeah, because if he didn't, I think Ron would have had him.
I mean, you can't deny what DDTrash is capable of.
Oh, no, they're a very dangerous tag team.
They're closing in on 1 year as tag team champions. That is not an easy task.
I mean, and they like each other even outside the ring. So, I mean, you can tell how much they are on the same page, and there's a well-oiled machine.
They do seem to have a lot in common. Right now, the double team work by DDTrash, and Jimmy Shane is just being pummeled in the corner.
This referee going to enforce a 5 count anytime now. Get one of these idiots out of the ring.
Cover here off that Russian
2
leg
count.
sweep. And the momentum seems to have turned to DDTrash here in this tag team championship matchup.
I really respect a team that only spends about $40 on their gear.
Tag made. Here comes Bruce Gray and Ron Mathis still running the ropes. Nice elbow drop there. Just planting his tag team partner on his opponent. Cover here. Does he have it? No.
A lot of fights still left in that former OCW heavyweight champion on the ground there.
6 OCW heavyweight championship reigns combined between the winners. They know how to go into the deep water.
6 losses as well.
But you also got to keep in mind, those are singles championships. Those aren't tag team championships.
Very smart, Drew. You get it. I'm
Cover
telling you
here
what.
for the championship 2 count. We've talked about how Jimmy Shane would like to complete the OCW Grand Slam, the tag team championship, the only accolade he's never had. But right now, he's in no man's land. Is that a pile driver? Nice back body drop there by Jimmy Shane. Bruce Gray from the second rope. Oh man, caught him midair and launches him with a fall away slam.
One thing I've noticed, Pauly, I don't know if you've noticed it as well, but the fans are kind of split on who they want to cheer for here.
You are absolutely right.
Like always.
You can hear the crowd getting loud for this moment, but who are they getting loud for?
Tags made on both sides.
Nobody home on the chop. Cross body. That is such a dangerous move. You're using your midsection as a weapon.
All 4 men down center of the ring.
The tag team championship on the line, and you're seeing just what it takes to be a champion in OCW. Looks like Mathis teeing off on Jimmy Shane.
We enforce some rules and get some of these guys out of the ring.
Well, if anybody would know how to...
Well, that's one thing. When you get Warhorse, you're going to get guys, two guys that play exactly by the rules, straight up and down, like 6 o'clock.
I think we've seen you at ringside enough for those matches to know that's not true.
Actually, that's the first time I was at ringside for a Warhorse match.
One was enough. Big clothesline turns him inside out.
Kind of like your last date.
And again, all 4 men down. This is becoming a war of attrition. Somebody is going to win, but what's going to be left of them?
What does their nutrition have to do with it?
Attrition.
I don't think you know words.
Pauly, do me a favor and don't use words you can't spell.
Oh, he's got him locked up. He's going to drop him. Oh, no.
Nice from Sagiri. And Jimmy Shane from behind. Plants Bruce Gray. Cover here. We could have new tag team champions. Oh, wait.
Oh, is Robbie not legal?
I don't think Bruce is legal.
Oh, I see.
In the confusion of all 4 men being down in the center of the ring.
See, that's why you need a manager out there to keep these things straight. They could have been OCW Tag Team Champions right now.
Well, Mathis is down after that pinballing. But Mathis wisely able to hold the ropes. And using Jimmy Shane as a battering ram.
Jimmy's fighting out, though.
Just the strength to hold Jimmy Shane that long in the air, though.
Ooh. Stiff shots to the back of the head.
Mathis returns the favor. Nice duck over there. And again, trying for...
Big fall-away slam sends Jimmy Shane all the way out to the floor.
Oh, wait a minute. Robbie Starr was looking for Starstruck. And now Bruce Gray was looking for Starstruck. That was unusual. Oh, wait a minute. DDT! That's it! Cover on Robbie Starr. It's over.
Yeah, it's a great win by DDTrash, but that's implying that they can lock up one of Warhorse. We are officially challenging them next month for a match for the for the OCW Tag Team Championships.
So Warhorse is challenging DDTrash for the OCW Tag Team Championship
Next month.
April 8th.
If they have the courage to accept.
You heard it right here.
I don't think that's going to be a hard challenge to get made. It's all up to OCW General Manager Glenn Lane to make that happen now, I would imagine. And that DDT, all it takes is one. Down for the count is Robbie Starr. Oh, wait a minute, there's Precious Kelly, Pat the Bruiser, come on! Well, I think the challenge is going to be a physical challenge now. Warhorse just laying waste to Bruce Gray. Oh my God, no. And Mathis trying his best here, but it's a 2-man advantage. 2-on-1. Mathis just desperate. Throwing any body part he can at Warhorse. Oh God, we've already seen this twice tonight. Third time's the charm. The most devastating tag team maneuver in wrestling today. If you feel the Haas toss, you are down for the count. And now the winners trying their best to ward off the winners. And for Robbie and Jimmy, this might be their last chance at the tag team titles. So this has got to be bittersweet for them. Coming to the aid of the tag team champions, DDTrash. They want a sickening attack by Warhorse. You have to imagine they were just going to lower the boom on whoever won. That explains Nick being out here in the first place.
It's called scouting, Pauly.
It's amazingly coincidental. They were right there as soon as the bell rang. Now this is what you like to see. Good sportsmanship by two of the greatest tag teams in our business. That's what it takes. We have to wonder if that tag team championship challenge, if that match will be made official next month, April the 8th. Warhorse challenging DDTrash for the tag team championship.
I want a member of the Entourage next show.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Jimmy Shane just said he wants a member of the Entourage on April 8th. Anybody from the Entourage next month.
Be careful what you wish for, Jimmy Shane.
Well, if the Warhorse match gets made official, that only leaves two more options. We haven't seen Jock Sampson since he won last month.
Two more options that you know of, Pauly.
Okay, you can't keep saying that and not back it up.
You don't know who Agent Nick Hine could have signed.
And perhaps more importantly, Jimmy Shane doesn't know. But if that's the case, then that would potentially mean Warhorse versus DDTrash for the tag team championship, and Jimmy Shane versus any member of the Entourage on April the 8th.
Yes.
Busy night for the Entourage again. And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. The Entourage wants all the gold. That'd be 1/3 of the way there with the tag team championship. But let's find out what is about to happen to Chuck the Truck Norris.
The singles contest is scheduled for one fall. However, if Chuck the Truck is victorious in this matchup, he will receive a match next month right back here at the Chapparell Center with Derek Dillinger.
Dillinger retained the Ohio Heritage Championship earlier tonight, so he'll have his eyes firmly focused on this matchup and his hand-picked mystery opponent.
Coming down now, being accompanied by Lonnie May, right at 275 pounds, from Ohio,
Chuck the Truck has one singular focus: revenge. And it is a dish best served cold. Chuck the Truck Morris wants one more opportunity, one more shot at Derek Dillinger to get payback for everything that Dillinger has done to Chuck over the last 3 to 4 months. And if anybody is capable of doing that, Drew, it's Chuck the Truck Morris, 2 times the Heritage Champion.
But the question remains, who is the mystery opponent going to be?
Yeah, we
And
don't know.
Let's find out who Derek Dillinger has chosen as Chuck's poison.
Well, is Derek just going to do it himself?
Maybe Derek wants to make the announcement himself.
I mean, Derek Dillinger can definitely go against Chuck right now. We can only speculate here at this point. I mean, getting in the mind of Derek Dillinger sounds like a really bad idea. He has dreams that would make Stephen King wet the bed. And he's not made any friends here in OCW, that's for sure.
Ain't nothing wrong with being your own man.
It goes a long way towards having somebody's back, though. Because in a situation like this, you can have friends to call.
Charles the Sucker Truck. You may think as you stand here in this ring looking at me, the Neon Tarantino, that I'm your opponent. The music played, right? I came out. I'm sorry, that's very inaccurate. I have an opponent that I handpicked that has beaten your butt all over this ballroom here. This man has also had your girlfriend before you've had your girlfriend.
What?
This man is the man of all men in this locker room. No, you're not. You're not a man. You're barely a woman. Mr. Music Man, can you please hit the music of my mystery opponent, Charles the Sucker Truck?
Oh, God.
A man Chuck knows very well.
And vice versa.
The made man Gino DiCapo making his way out to the ring.
Gino DiCapo was directly responsible.
Derek Dillinger's hand-picked opponent, the main man, Gino DiCapo.
Gino DiCapo was the man who defeated Chuck the Truck Morris to end Chuck's first Heritage Championship reign in the first place.
Now these two men going to war over that OCW Ohio Heritage Championship.
And then just going to war for all and anything. There was not a whole lot of things we could do to keep these two separated. So at one point, we didn't separate them. We tied them together with a dog collar.
Yeah, at last year's tradition.
That was brutal.
Yeah, it was.
And come to think of it, I don't think they've had a match together since. I don't even remember them being in DBI at the same time together. But now, the made man, who as of recently has been a tag team competitor with Asher Knox, jumping back into the singles end of the pool here.
Pedro DeLuca, I don't know why you announced him. I wanted to announce him.
Derek should be announcing the main man. From one Heritage Champion to a former Heritage Champion. Derek, give these people what they paid to see.
I don't know if you guys realize I'm the Super Indie Scorsese, and the Scorsese family goes way back with the DiCapos.
That's right, man. That's right. We got the connection.
So I put a call out to my man Gino, and I put a little hit. A hit. if you beat Gino, I'll give you a match, but you're not.
Can only imagine what's going through the mind of Chuck Morris right now. He wants another match with Derek Dillinger. Said he would do anything to get it, and now has to face one of his toughest rivals to date in Gino DiCapo in order to get there.
Oh, get a room.
No, see, Drew, that's how you do it.
Well, you wouldn't know, Pauly.
There's a lot of love in the air tonight. We have to fact check that. I'm pretty sure that's not true. Dillinger is a menace at ringside right now. The OCW faithful are rowdy tonight for the director's cut, the final cut, if you will.
And we are underway.
To be fair, the bell had rung several minutes ago. And they're tied up in the ropes. The referee trying to do his best to get in there and maybe break this hold. But it's kind of difficult with that amount of man in there.
Both men jockeying for position.
And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Chuck the Truck Morris went into this blind. He did not have a clue who he would be facing. There's no chance for preparation. There's no chance to study tape because you don't know who it's going to be until, well, just now.
Yeah, but Chuck came into this match knowing that. He wasn't going to know who his opponent was going to be. So yeah, he had to be prepared for all options.
So you have to prepare for everyone.
Yeah.
It's a nearly impossible task. Off the ropes comes Gino. Runs into a shoulder block. Went for the hip toss. But Chuck will show him how it's done. Beautiful arm drag. That is such a violent maneuver. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Beautiful leg drop by Chuck the Truck Morris. Cover here.
2 count only.
This is all about for Chuck the Truck Morris getting another chance to get his hands on the Ohio Heritage champion, Derek Dillinger. Having to go through one of his biggest rivals to do so. Dillinger not making it an easy path. That was 10 in case you weren't keeping count there, Drew.
I'm surprised you can count that high.
Big splash in the corner, but the second attempt backfired slightly. Beautiful belly to belly. Cover, cover. He's got it here. He's got another shot. No.
2 count only.
And now Dillinger stalking Natalie May. That's exactly what got all of this mess started in the first place. We've talked about Chuck the Truck Morris not being completely able to control, chop block. About Chuck not being able to control his anger, and it may have cost him there, and I believe Natalie has left.
Yeah, but there's also one thing that's been very well documented. Chuck's history of knee problems.
Without question.
And remember, Brandon Fields attacked that knee with a chair last month.
In much the same way, right across the ring post. Oh, no, Dillinger! Dillinger getting involved. Hey, there's a mugging going on here.
Where?
Where Dillinger is standing. If Dillinger's around, you can assume there's a mugging going around. It's turning into a 2-on-1 handicap match right now. With Dillinger at ringside, Natalie May run off by the Heritage champion. And now the damn director is taking our camera.
He's doing his job. He's directing the show.
He's not actually the director of this production.
Yes, he is.
Oh, what a shot there. I mean, I think Dillinger's in his own head. As much as the flying meatball connects there.
Into the cover.
Could have it here. Chuck could be out. No. I think Dillinger is confident that if Chuck does win, Dillinger can defeat him. But I don't think Chuck cares if he defeats Dillinger. He just wants to hurt him. The bow tie, necktie cutter. 2 count only. And a lot of this, you have to play back to your instincts if you're Chuck the Truck Morris. Didn't have a chance to scout, but you know Gino DiCapo. So now you've had enough wars with him that you have some defense, right?
Well, you also got to keep in mind, Gino knows Chuck very well, too.
That's why he's targeting that knee.
Absolutely.
The excruciating pain. Oh, down for the count. Have to be careful there. If those shoulders are on the mat, you're going to get counted down. Chuck, favoring that left. And using his own momentum against him, sends Gino DiCapo flying. What is Derek Dillinger doing?
He's fanning Gino DiCapo.
Why?
It's hot in here, Pauly.
Chuck, oh my God!
ran right into that right hand.
That was a straight right hand to the face. Cover. It could be over. No. I'm not sure what Chuck was thinking. He's not known for any sort of dives, really, like that. But maybe that's one of those pull out all the stops just to get your hands on Dillinger again. What the hell was that? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I just nearly got accosted by some costume maniac. It's like living in a horror movie right now. And Gino DiCapo again to the knee. This is going to be a nightmare for Chuck the Truck Morris if this keeps up. How much can he take? How much can that knee take before he just finally has to give up? And I say that with respect to Chuck because he is not one to give up. No, Gino, please don't do this. Nobody home. He went for the flying meatball. That's going to buy Chuck a little bit of time.
Yeah, but Chuck, is he even going to be able to stand?
He had trouble standing a few moments ago, but maybe that plant leg. Adrenaline is a powerful drug. Planted, but onto the knee. Could that have been a mistake by Chuck the Truck Morris? Cover! Cover! He's got it! He's got no!
2 count only. But that begs the question, did that do more damage to Chuck than it did to Gino?
A bit of a Pyrrhic victory in that case. But Chuck back to his feet, hobbling just a bit on the left leg. Big clothesline. I don't know if you've noticed, Drew. Oh, there's the big boot. Chuck has changed his plant foot. Went for the roundhouse. That might have been a mistake.
Omerta locked in.
The ever dangerous Omerta locked in by the made man, Gino DiCapo. Oh, the roundhouse connects. What's Dillinger up to now? Oh, damn! A blatant low blow by Gino DiCapo might have sealed the deal. Wait a minute. Roll up, roll up. He's got it. 2, 3, yes!
Here is your winner, Chuck the Truck Morris.
Oh, but of course Dillinger not going to take that line down. The Ohio Heritage champion right there to attack. What is going on around here? What the hell? What the hell is going on now?
This masked figure.
He's been roaming around the building all night. Oh, damn! You never trust anybody wearing that mask. Of course it was Asher Knox. Are you kidding me? Three men are trying to dissect Chuck the Truck Morris. We really need some help out here. Chuck is getting hurt bad. As if it wasn't bad enough that his knee was targeted the whole match.
Shut up, you lady. I like the Brooklyn said, this guy's an idiot. The worst takes ever in pro wrestling. He should be out there.
Calling me the F-word in 2023 is very dumb, so you're stupid. But I am a man of my word. Chuck the suck truck. You did get a victory here. But he's not going to be nice. But Chuck, look at me. You want this belt, you're not going to get it. You did win. And you will get a match against me. But next show, it's going to be a tag team match.
What?
So you and your girlfriend, Natalie, versus me, a mystery everyone. How you doing?
What the hell? I thought he got a title match.
No, it was just specified a match.
Well, it's still not a match with... But we have a tag team matchup now?
Dillinger and Chuck are in the match, so he gets the match.
All I know is that Chuck the Truck Morris got screwed again. He wanted Derek Dillinger one-on-one for the title. He didn't ask for a tag team matchup.
He wanted a match. He's getting a match.
Well, now the question becomes, who is the mystery partner for Derek Dillinger next month here at Chapparell's on April the 8th?
And that's going to remain to be seen.
The director of the production putting together the final cut. Well, Chuck can barely walk here. Why does everybody have to take everything so damn literal around here?
One piece of advice, always get it in writing.
You learned that from Nick?
Of course, it's smart business.
Well, next month, April the 8th to be precise, it will be Chuck the Truck Morris and Natalie May against the Ohio Heritage champion Derek Dillinger and a partner of his choice.
Yes.
Now, does that mean his partner has to be a female?
It wasn't stated, was it?
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen.
That could turn everything into a 2-on-1 handicap match. Again.
Of the evening.
All hail Brian Michaels, the challenger for the OCW Heavyweight Championship. This has been a long time coming, Drew.
Yeah, Michaels and Taylor having a impressive match back at Summerfest, back in Mogador this past summer. Taylor winning that match, but it also seemed like Michaels won over the fans.
That crowd was chanting Ryan Michaels' name until we shut off the lights at the venue.
And the love of the fans is one thing, but he's going to have to get it done against one of the most accomplished wrestlers on the OCW roster in the Guiding Light, Matthew Taylor.
And we've already seen Matthew Taylor once tonight. He got himself physically involved with Lord Thomas the Brute. You almost wonder if that specter is causing some sort of malaise for the Guiding Light. He almost seems transfixed on just Lord Thomas the Brute, and he can't do that tonight. He's got Ryan Michaels in the middle of the ring. Here comes that dangerous deity, the disciple of the gospel of the light, Jexy Black.
But Jexy Black coming out here alone.
How about we give an introduction befitting of the modern day Messiah?
Matthew Taylor, the OCW heavyweight champion for 56 days, winning that championship back at Battle for the Crown back in January.
In a three-way matchup that he was never intended to be in, because it was never intended to be a three-way matchup. We keep forgetting that match was always intended to be Jake Ely versus Lord Thomas the Brute. Leave it to Matthew Taylor to insert himself into Lord Thomas the Brute's business again and steal the heavyweight championship.
He didn't steal anything. It was in the contract that he could use that at any time. He just happened to choose the same night.
But now, with the arrival of Jexy Black, this brings a whole new element, a whole new dangerous dynamic to Matthew Taylor. We don't know what Jexy Black is capable of, but we know she'll do anything for that man.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Chapparell Center in Akron, Ohio, General Manager Glenn Lane and Theo's Bar and Grill proudly presents to you your Ohio Championship Wrestling Final Cut Main Event of the evening. It is a singles contest scheduled for one fall. At stake will be the Ohio Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger in the corner to my right. He weighs in at 201 pounds, wrestling out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, wearing black with pink and white trim. All hail Ryan Michaels! And his opponent, in the corner to my left, being escorted to ringside by Jexy Black. He weighs in at 203 pounds, wrestling out of the Bible Belt, wearing black and blue. He is your reigning and defending Ohio Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Guiding Light, Matthew Taylor!
Matthew Taylor claims that he wants to love you. And that's a direct quote. This is the guiding light to a better life. Whether you agree with that or not, you can't argue the fact he's the OCW heavyweight champion.
And you can't argue the fact also that he has not been pinned in almost 3.5 years.
It's a stunning transformation that happened for the guiding light. And ever since that moment, he's never been pinned. That is ungodly. I don't know if he is the modern day Messiah. He may claim to be. But to not be pinned for 5 years almost? 4 years?
3.5, Pauly.
3.5.
Pay attention.
I was never a math guy. The bell
It
goes.
shows.
And we are underway for the OCW Heavyweight Championship. Worth noting the brace on the left wrist and hand of Matthew Taylor. That does look to be a little bit more weapon type than a normal brace. Looks like there might be some metal sticking out of there. I can't imagine that's accidental.
I'd also notice the kinesio tape on the shoulder of Ryan Michaels.
Just going to mention that as well. And right now, here we go. Matthew Taylor scares me, and Jexy Black freaks me out. They are in a world unlike any other, and they're not from this planet. Ryan Michaels working the left arm there. But Taylor with that arm break. I hate to see anybody's arm get hurt. Taylor able to quickly escape. Looked like Michaels was maybe trying to get to those legs for the sharpshooter, Drew.
Yeah, but Taylor had that well scouted.
As they should. I mean, these two have had a very personal rivalry, and that's gone all across the state of Ohio. This is a personal rivalry. Ryan Michaels wants to prove he is better than Matthew Taylor in every way, shape, and form. And the best way to do that is to take what he treasures most, his top prize, which is the OCW Heavyweight Championship. Little cat and mouse here. Mostly mouse. Taylor taking his time, maybe playing mind games. Would not be a shock, I don't think, for anybody. Back in the ring they go, and back out of the ring. And Taylor hightails it out of there. That frustration might not be good for Ryan Michaels. Wait, where is Matt going? Matthew Taylor is leaving with the Ohio Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Oh, come on. Come on. The referee doing his best. Our champion just left the match. The OCW Heavyweight Champion is left.
Referees count to 8.
Okay, now he's Taylor trying to make his way back slowly. Let's pick up the pace here. Nearly tried to grab that left leg. And I think Michaels has had just about enough. This brawl in the aisleway here. It's getting physical in a hurry. Both men back into the ring, and I think now Michaels has had enough of the guiding light, Matthew Taylor. But a knee to the midsection stops that in its tracks. Big clothesline there by Michaels. And now Michaels firing off those right hands, Drew. From behind on the roll-up.
2 count only.
And a big clothesline. My God, cover here off that clothesline. 2 count only. Ryan Michaels is in no huddle offense right now. And a cheap shot to the side of the head. I think that was a thumb to the eye, actually.
It was an open hand strike to the face, Pauly.
It looked like the thumb got in the eye socket. And considering the way Ryan Michaels went down and the history of Matthew Taylor, I'm not putting it past him.
Just being really antagonistic tonight with Matthew Taylor, aren't you?
And being realistic about Matthew Taylor. This guiding light has been great for him, but it's been horrific for OCW. This is not going to do any favors for Michaels.
Chin lock applied.
And not just a chin lock, but look at the way that Taylor is sitting on the small of the back. We've talked about it before, Drew. Matthew Taylor is wise beyond his years.
Oh, absolutely.
Big drop kick there by Ryan Michaels. Could it be enough here for the Ohio Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship?
Two count only.
And we talked about it earlier. Both of these men want to be a part of tradition in May, our 20th anniversary of OCW. And they want to be the man, the flag bearer, heading into that night. What a shot there by Taylor. Beautiful drop kick there by Ryan Michaels. I don't know if Taylor caught the ring steps when he came down, but he is crawling around them now. And this is not boding well for Taylor against the barricade with that chop. That is not going to be pretty tomorrow.
Taylor right there with a headlock.
But Michaels able to quickly get out of that maneuver. Down off the shoulder block. Snaps off the head scissor. Wow. Michaels is so dangerous in this mode. Going for that pedigree maneuver. Maybe it just wasn't the right time there. What's Ryan Michaels thinking here off the second rope? Oh, God, out of midair with that super kick.
Caught him flush, too.
My God. That super kick has won championships.
Taylor
and
into
it could
the
have
cover.
won another one right here. Can he retain? No. We talk about the will in Ryan Michaels, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the fury and the guidance through violence of Matthew Taylor. Taylor believes everything he preaches, and I think maybe some people don't believe that, but if you spend 5 minutes with Matthew Taylor, you will understand everything he says. He truly believes this gospel.
100%.
And that's dangerous. Because then you get somebody like a Jexy Black who's following his every move. Shots there by Ryan Michaels. Taylor, oh my God, over the top of that clothesline.
Michaels crashing hard to the floor.
Yeah, I think his head may have came down first too, which is not good. While we do have carpet on this floor, it's basically just there for show. Concrete underneath that sucker.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Jexy Black trying to get involved. Oh, come on now. She is not part of the match, Drew.
Keith Smith's count up to 5.
Matthew Taylor saying, stay down, they don't believe in you. The OCW faithful beg to differ. The OCW faithful are firmly
Count to
behind
8.
Ryan Michaels, but he needs to get back to his feet and in the ring.
Count to 9.
Just able to get underneath that bottom rope.
Crashing hard to the floor again.
That time he caught the apron with the side of his. It looked like maybe the rib cage may have came down on. Oh, come on, there's Jexy Black again.
It was the lower back that hit the apron.
No matter what, it's doing significant damage to a already in pain Ryan Michaels.
Oh, absolutely. That apron, the hardest part of that ring.
It feels like Taylor wants his opponent to suffer.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but with Taylor, it seems like this suffering is more pain for your sins. Michaels back to his feet.
Pulling himself back into the ring.
Trying to dump Taylor out of the ring. That did not work. Instead, that hot shot across the top rope. And Taylor just constantly has an answer here. Oh, damn! Jexy Black just used that book, The Gospel of the Light, as a weapon.
No, Michaels just got a closer look at that book.
Jexy Black has already made a huge impact just tonight alone. What does that mean for the future of this duo? As Ryan Michaels is writhing in pain here. Michaels not going to give up. Beautiful jawbreaker there by Ryan Michaels. Oh, and skins the cat with that up kick. Amazing agility. Off the top rope! Wow!
Both men down.
Where did that come from for Ryan Michaels?
Yeah, but Michaels unable to capitalize on it.
So much taken out of Michaels. Just trying to roll towards the champion. Both men back to their knees and exchanging blows in the center of the ring. Two heavyweight fighters throwing hands, headbutts, anything they can do. They're just falling into each other to cause damage, Drew.
Yeah, you do what you got to do to cause damage.
When the heavyweight championship's on the line, yes, you do. Taylor used the ropes for that pump kick. Big European-style uppercut off the ropes there by Michaels.
But Michaels staggering, though.
That doesn't look like a man who's staggering to me, Drew. Well, those knees. Looks like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there for a minute. And it looks like Michaels might have grabbed the belt. But a nice Gamengiri kick there. Oh, the power slam midair! Cover! He's got the championship right here, right here!
Two count only!
So close for Ryan Michaels. Just a heartbeat away there. And it looks like another student going to Sharpshooter University. No, instead, small package. 2 count only. There's the kick to the midsection. Off the ropes. Into a spine buster. Cover for the championship belt.
No!
And now Michaels, can he lock in the sharpshooter? He's got one leg trying. Up kicks by Taylor, the champion. Not going to quit. Oh, the catapult. So smart and intuitive by Ryan Michaels. Saw that the sharpshooter wasn't going to happen. Turns it, uses it as an offensive maneuver, the catapult.
Michaels making his way to the top rope.
Second rope, but is that a wise decision with how much damage has been inflicted on the challenger? A dangerous spot no matter what time of the match, no matter who or what you are. What is this?
Both men jockeying for position on the middle rope.
Drew, we're in no man's land if they come off that top rope with a suplex.
Yeah, because Michaels could fall right backwards.
This is so dangerous. Oh my God.
Spanish fly!
Cover by the champion! No! How? That was incredible. How did Ryan Michaels kick out a 2 from that?
That had to have been just instinct alone.
My God. Even Taylor now praying to whomever for forgiveness. Oh, he's got it. Nope. Back up and over. Oh, the super kick connects. That Death Valley driver leading to the top rope. Off the top, nobody home. Michaels able to avoid. Could have him here. Hooks up. Connects. We could have a new champion. Get the cover. 1, 2. Oh, come on.
But foot on the rope and grabbing the bottom rope as well.
Because Jexy Black put it there. Jexy Black has made herself very clear in this matchup that she is going to do everything she can to keep the OCW Heavyweight Championship around the waist of Matthew Taylor. The sharpshooter perhaps, but again, Jexy Black pulling Matthew Taylor away. Oh, the super kick. My God. How many more of those can Ryan Michaels take? Oh, no. This could be it right here. Oh!
Back body drop on the apron.
On the hardest part of the ring, Matthew Taylor dropped his opponent. And then goes down himself. What in the world? Oh, no!
Dropped on the apron.
This matchup for the OCW Heavyweight Championship. These two men giving it all they've got to prove they are the best.
Taylor to the middle rope.
What's going through the mind of the champion here? We might have dove right into the sharpshooter. Sharpshooter's locked in. This is it. Will Matthew Taylor tap? He may have never been pinned as the guiding light, but he hasn't tapped. Oh, wait a minute. Papa Smurf got hit in the eye. I believe Matthew Taylor tapped out to the sharpshooter. Michaels probably thinks he won. Oh, the cutter! Off the second rope. Cover. What just happened?
Here is your winner, and still OCW Heavyweight Champion, the Guiding Light, Matthew Taylor.
Taylor retaining the heavyweight championship here tonight. And that was a battle.
Means. This has been a recurring pattern for Ryan Michaels. Every time he's so close to the OCW Heavyweight Championship, something happens that takes it away from him. And the celebration begins now for the guiding light and his #1 disciple. Drew. The drums of Midgard herald the arrival of Lord Thomas the Brute. The Brute wants the heavyweight championship. The Brute wants Matthew Taylor. Oh, Jesus! No! Don't do that! No, God! Matthew Taylor just tried to sacrifice his disciple. What a piece of garbage that is. Oh, man.
They're going out amongst the faithful here.
Oh, Jesus. Nobody is safe right now in the Chapparell's Event Center. We have Lord Thomas the Brute and Matthew Taylor brawling through the ringside area into the crowd. Jeez. We need more than just lights. We need the 52nd Airborne out here. We need the National Guard. That's a chair to the midsection. That's not a steel chair. That's one of our regular chairs here at ringside. Oh, God. Oops. This has turned chaotic, and now, oh, the OCW general manager just went down. A referee just went down. All hell is broken loose. Oh, my God. Oh, a trash can to the side of the head. We need help. Matthew Taylor's leaving. Oh, my God. He
Who's
just
got a
picked
piece
up
of the
part of the
guardrail?
barricade. The Brute is stalking Matthew Taylor into the locker room area with a barricade. We have 2 referees down, the general manager's down, security's down, Jexy Black is down. Hell, nobody's safe right now with Lord Thomas the Brute and Matthew Taylor rampaging through the building. Wow! This is absolute chaos. I don't know what is going on. Holy hell. Drew, what are we going to do about it? Like, what's going to happen here?
I have no idea.
The general manager is lying. He's down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, while we wrap things up here and we've got referees down and bleeding, make sure you guys join us right back here, April the 8th. Pre-sale tickets are still available. They're going quickly. Make sure you head up to the front table and get those pre-sale tickets. For Believe Land Media, Yo Pauly, Drew Starner, myself, Pedro Luca. Glenn Lane is still down over here, and for Theo's Bar Grill, thank you, and good night, everybody. We'll see you April the 8th.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to tell you. This is chaos. We're going to do our best to try to get an answer for you. Stay tuned to social media for all future updates on this breaking story. The general manager just finally got to his feet. Both of our referees are in the back in the trainer's room right now. I don't know what the hell's going on between Matthew Taylor and Lord Thomas the Brute now. Like, what does this mean for April 8th?
I don't know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to Ohio Championship Wrestling social media for future match announcements and possibly confirmations. We know that the tag team champions, DDTrash, have been challenged by Warhorse. That would be a huge tag team championship matchup if it were to happen. Jimmy Shane has challenged any member of the Entourage. those two matches, and who knows what else could be thrown at this.
Yeah.
April the 8th, never back down. For all of us here at Believeland Media LLC, I'm Paul, he's Drew. Good night from OCW Final Cut.